If you're interested in wholesaling real estate in 2025, stick around because I'm going to explain from A to Z how you can get started in local and virtual wholesaling, going over everything from strategy to marketing to budget to execution. You're going to love this. So let's start with strategy. If you are entering the real estate wholesaling market, you have to know this is a place with a ton of players. There's a lot of companies that are investing a lot of marketing dollars into a lot of different markets. So starting off with your strategy, are you going to go the local route or are you going to go the virtual route? And if you're going the virtual route, are you going to go nationwide virtual or are you going to stick to specific regions and specific areas? Now, I won't sway you one way or the other, but I will let you know if you're going to go local, you can always start off local and pick a couple markets virtually to bolster your success. I have always loved virtual wholesaling for the simple fact that it is easy to enter smaller markets with less competition. It's easier to wholesale in multiple markets at the same time, and it's a lot less footwork. When you're local, you're going to be tempted to go on seller appointments. You're going to be tempted to do local marketing, going to meetups, meeting buyers, which is all great, but it can distract you and take time away from doing what you need to be doing if you're just starting your wholesale business, which is being on the phone with sellers. So it's definitely up to you if you're going to go virtual. Now, same thing, there's a ton of competition in all of the most popular virtual markets, but I'm going to link a video where you can see how to pick your virtual market, how to pick one with less competition, one that's going to take you less time to infiltrate. And the key thing in a virtual market is somewhere that has price points that investors nationwide like to buy, where they can rent those properties for 1% to 2% rural returns. Know that that property isn't going to go down in value, which means things like the population is increasing in those markets and that rent rates are steady and ideally going up. But check that video out because there's going to be a lot more detailed information on that topic. Whatever strategy that you choose, just make sure that you stick to it. Don't market hop. If there's one thing that I can say is a killer of virtual wholesale businesses is picking a market, taking a couple weeks to call sellers there and just feeling like, nope, this isn't right, and switching and switching and switching. And you're never really able to understand the nuances of that market. And when I say nuances, I mean, in some places, there's a lot of brick houses. In some places, there's a lot of siding houses. In some places, houses have basements. In some places, they don't. They're slab on grade or no foundation. The house is built right on the concrete. So guys, if you're not able to stick to a market long enough to learn those nuances, it becomes very hard to figure out what buyers want, what sellers want, what houses are really going for. And it gets hard to figure out the leverage points and how to actually close a deal because you don't know how to talk to a seller in a way that they'll understand you. If they don't know that you understand the market, it's going to be very hard to convince them that you're a player in that market. So local, virtual, nationwide virtual, picking one market, whatever you choose, just stick to it. Next is marketing. So marketing for wholesaling is a topic that you can probably get lost in a wormhole on YouTube for 2 days looking at different marketing videos. But just to break it down, you have your basics. You have your outbound marketing and your inbound marketing. So with your outbound marketing, you might be cold calling. You might be sending out texts. You might be sending out direct mail. You're reaching out to people in the hopes that somebody who is a motivated seller will say, hey, yeah, I want to sell. That'll become a lead and you'll be able to take that conversation somewhere. Cold calling and texting, if you know, in January of 2025 was supposed to get banned, but that law has since been pushed back. There's going to be another year before any decision is made. Even though that may be the case, cold calling and text blasting have gone down dramatically ever since stir shaken laws have come out and the TPC compliance text consent laws have come out. Cold calling and texting are not the best ways to be generating leads in real estate anymore, although they are still really good ways to generate leads. If you're going to be cold calling and texting, and I know a lot of people start out this way just because it's easiest on your budget in the beginning, just make sure that you're choosing markets and categories of sellers that actually will be motivated and be on the phone with you. And what do I mean by that? If you call a seller cold call in New York or Baltimore or California, a lot of times they're just going to hang right up on you because they don't have the time. They don't want to waste their time. But if you pick slower Midwestern markets, or you choose a category like senior owners or probates or pre-foreclosures, people who really need help, you're going to have a better chance that someone on the other side of that phone actually wants to have a conversation with you, or your virtual assistant, which we'll get to a little later. Marketing methods that I love are inbound marketing. So getting people to actually reach out to you, whether that's having billboards or ads out or running online ads like TikTok, Facebook, Google PPC, YouTube, or just having a really great market presence in those Facebook groups in your specific markets. This doesn't have to be super expensive. If you need help with online ads, just go ahead and email this email right here, and someone on my team will get with you and we can get you some help there. I'm also going to go ahead and put a link down here that's going to help you get started. The easiest marketing methods in 2025, which are our virtual wholesaling strategies guide. Guys, this thing has helped over 250 others just like you get their virtual wholesale business started. So this is going to be the easiest way to get started. Go ahead and click that link, check it out. It's going to be very helpful if you're trying to figure out how to get started in this market. Other methods that I also really like are direct mail. So mail can be very, very expensive. It can also be very effective. So use this strategy wisely. I wouldn't mail everyone. I would mail people that are hard to reach, or if you get them on the phone and they just kind of disappear, sending them mail periodically kind of gives you a little bit of legitimacy also attached to your website. When your mail piece has your website on there and they're able to complete a full picture of who you are. Okay, I spoke to this person, I saw their website, I got a piece of mail for them. It kind of gives you an authority and an omnipresence in their world, and they're more likely to call you if they've seen you. I'm sure you guys have heard this. You have to see something 7 or 8 times for it to register and for you to know. So if I see your TikTok ad, and then you also send me a piece of mail, and I've also talked to someone from your company, those things really help with building authority and building presence to those sellers. It doesn't have to be a huge list of sellers. You could target specific things like probate, code violations, pre-foreclosures, divorce, senior owners who live in 2-story homes. Obviously, that's a person that might need to downsize. So there's so many different people that you can market to. And simply running ads on TikTok, on Facebook, online. When people are scrolling and they get interrupted and they see, you're going to get people who are actually interested stopping. In my opinion, it's the new cold calling. You're interrupting someone in a way that they actually don't mind being interrupted. I know when I get a cold call, what is this about? And then I just hang up. So just keeping up with the times and just making sure that we're always the most up to date with our marketing methods. And it's not much more expensive than a VA. And I'm going to do another video where I talk about VA versus inbound marketing and where we really break down the costs, guys. It's a lot more effective and it's the same price, if not cheaper than a VA to do some of these inbound marketing methods. Now, if you're talking about Google ads, yes, it's going to be expensive. If you're talking about pay per lead, that's going to be expensive too. If you're just starting out, I definitely wouldn't suggest either one of those unless you want to be spending $150 to $450 for one lead. Yes, one lead, not even a deal. So just from my experience, pay per lead and Google ads, they're kind of more upper echelon. Pay per leads, funny enough, all they're doing is the same inbound marketing that you could be doing on all of these simple channels like Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. So just my 2 cents, I wouldn't waste thousands of dollars when you can literally waste a couple $100s and have that same sample size to figure out, is this the type of ads that I want to be running? And it really gets down to your strategy too, which we'll talk about in a little bit. The next thing is the budget. If you're starting out wholesaling in this market, more budget goes with execution, which is our next step that we're going to talk about. But you either have time or money in this business. You're either going to sit here and make the calls and talk to people and get the deals done, or you're going to use your money to hire a team and advertise and get the leads to come to you. Either way, you have to pick your struggle. Are you going to spend more money or are you going to spend more time? So your budget can be as little as $500 or $600 a month, but whatever you choose your budget, just make sure that you can market for at least 6 months. The reason being, the cash conversion cycle, or the amount of time it takes for a lead to actually become money in your bank, is usually about 90 to 180 days, regardless of how you're getting your lead. So if you actually call somebody or text somebody, or a lead comes in from an inbound method and you say, hey, I want to buy your house. They're like, yes, great, buy it. Within a week or two, you're under contract. Within a week or two, you find a buyer. Even at that quickest cash conversion cycle, you're still looking at an average of 90 days. I know a lot of people probably have told you you can get a deal under contract and sold in less than 30 days, which is true. But the part that they're leaving out is that normally it takes between 6 to 12 follow-ups to get to that contract. So that first 3 to 5 to 7 weeks, you're just following up with this person to actually get them under contract, and multiply that by the amount of leads that you're actually getting through that time. You're not going to see the real fruit of your labor until at least 6 months. So having enough money to market for at least 6 months straight is super important. Pick your budget to match that. I suggest saving up that money ahead of time so you're not worried about it, and so that you don't have to stop marketing. But if you do, guys, it's not the end of the world. A lot of these CRMs are very, very cost effective, where you're only paying $100, $200 a month. So you can leave your CRM running while you go Uber or go mow lawns or go work at a restaurant or go do whatever you need to do to save that money up so you can start actually marketing again. You can leave your CRM up and running. You can continue to text the people with the same number, call people, and you can keep your warm leads warm while you're trying to get a deal, while you get your money together to continue marketing. But ideally, you have that $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 saved up front so you can focus 100% on the business and not on any side hustles. Either way, though, just keep marketing. If you need help with a CRM, or if you don't know where to start with the CRM, go ahead and contact us, guys. We can totally help you. We have a fully built out CRM that does texting, calling. You have all your lead management in there. It connects to Facebook, TikTok, all the integrations that you need to run ads. It's really a full suite, and it's super affordable, the most affordable out there. So we can definitely help you out. If you have any concerns about CRMs, just go ahead and email that same email here and we'll help you out. The last part is execution. So budget and execution go hand in hand, because what you have to spend is going to directly correlate to how you execute your business. Now, are you going to be a one-man army? Are you going to be doing everything yourself? Luckily, with AI and auto chatbots and things like that, you can automate some of it. It's not perfect. You might get a message or two that you didn't want to send sent to a seller, but all in all, it's going to be one of the only ways that you can duplicate yourself without hiring a VA. Hiring a VA costs between $4 to $8 an hour, depending on their skill level, and you still have to train and manage that person. So that's another person you're going to have to be keeping track of their time, keeping track of their productivity, and training them on your systems and your processes, which can be a little hard if you're just starting and you don't have systems and processes yet. So if you are just a one-person army, which is totally fine, you're going to want to have that set up in your mind beforehand. What is my team going to look like, and what do I have to spend on this team? Is it going to be you, your CRM, and you're doing outbound and inbound marketing, and you're handling what you can with the chatbot to help bolster some of that follow-up with some automation set up that if people say certain keywords via text, it's talking back to them. These are all things that you're going to figure out along the way. But again, if you need help getting that together with your CRM, all of this is going to be within your CRM. Go ahead and reach out. We'd love to help you with that. So from A to Z, guys, picking your market, deciding your strategy, figuring out which seller leads you're going to start marketing to and how you're going to market to them. These are the steps that you're going to need to take to build a virtual wholesale business that can actually last in 2025. Even a local wholesale business, when you're locally wholesaling, if you can implement the virtual strategies, it's going to help you even more, because you're not going to have to actually go out and meet sellers. Taking one seller appointment a day could take 2 to 3 hours, whereas you could have made 8 to 12 seller calls in that same amount of time. So even if you're choosing to local wholesale, you want to implement virtual wholesaling strategies in your local wholesaling business so that you're not wasting time driving to houses all day. That's very, very important, guys. But I hope you like this video. If you need any help with any of this, please feel free to reach out at this email. And if you want to grab the virtual wholesaling guide, this is going to be your best way to start virtually wholesaling or local wholesaling this year. It's full of information, all of our documents. There's a secret document vault in there as well that I've added in as a bonus, but check it out. I know you'll love it. Leave a like, share this with someone that needs it, and great luck and great success in your business this year.